Good morning, good morning, good morning, everyone. Ann Metcalf here. Alchemical shifts, conscious living, and conscious eating. That's kind of going to be my focus for the next little while. So let's just connect with the earth that provides our food. These beautiful trees and plants around me that I get to look at every day. Smelling the roses. Just breathe in and out. And knowing that every breath is connecting you with source energy. Every breath. Your heartbeat, the heartbeat of the earth. All right, today, conscious living, how we make conscious choices from our heart essence. And I'm going to read you something from the knowledge book. The genuine human is the human within you. It is your genuine self. The human is the one who steers to the best path and the one who keeps your scale of conscience in balance. And we can do that with our conscious thoughts and the choices that we make. And so that is kind of our start. This week is actually my third week of testing food using my body's innate wisdom. I have my pendulum. I have something that's like this, my fuse glass that I use for every meal. And I use my little pie charts, and once in a while I'll just choose what I want to have. Most of the time though, it's paying attention. So am I aligning with the food, with what my body needs to be healthy, to be really healthy? And as I mentioned last week, I'm reading a book by Dr. McGregor, and it's called How Not to Diet. And there's a lot of good information in the book, and it's helping me just be stronger in my decision to pay attention to what my body needs. And so I'm going to be talking a bit about that, some of the studies that have been done around the world, partly to look at the issue of obesity, which causes so many other issues, health issues. It's such a heavy demand on the body when you are just so overweight. And the body it loves you so much, and it just keeps, the heart keeps pumping, and it just keeps doing what it can do until it reaches that breaking point. And we need to just honor this beautiful vessel that our spirit is in, to live as long as we can, and that can be a long time, and depending on your choices. And so I'm just what Michael talks about is this plant-based diet, and it's not a vegetarian diet, definitely not vegan, because it minimalizes the meat, the eggs, the dairy, sort of the animal protein. It doesn't say you can't have it. And it maximizes whole plant-based food, like fruits and vegetables, nuts and seeds, mushrooms, and using the herbs and the spices to liven up your food. So that's what he's calling, in the studies that are looking at plant-based eating. And even within that, I'm still doing my testing, and once in a while, this morning, for example, I had eggs with a little bit of cheese on it and a bit of avocado. And I also had some delicious pink grapefruit and some delicious peaches from the Okanagan in British Columbia. And so it's just checking in. What is it your body needs right now? And so third week, I feel great, and I'm going to continue with that process because I do feel good. And something that they did a study with women to determine if they changed their diet to a plant-based diet, would it help them in sort of the menstrual cycle or in the discomfort that they were having with that, because some women do. And what they found was they put these women on a plant-based diet, and then they were to go back to regular eating and then go back to the plant-based diet. Well, several of the women felt really good on the plant-based diet, so they didn't want to go back to eating what they had been eating. So unfortunately, their information had to be sort of stricken from the research because they didn't go back to eating what they had been eating, because they're going, I feel fantastic on this. Why would I go back to what I was eating? So that's one example. And there's another study. It was done by Dr. Hans Deal, and he created the CHIP program. And it was originally the coronary health improvement project, and people felt so much better after it. He actually changed the name to the Complete Health Improvement Program. And basically, you're not restricted on calories. There's no calorie counting. You're not restricted on how much you can eat, but it is a whole food, plant-based program. And so what they found, they didn't provide meals, and all they did was provide advice and encouragement and empowering people with knowledge. And within 1 month, and I'm reading it from Michael's book, the blood sugar, cholesterol, blood pressure dropped enough for many participants to drop their anti-diabetic, cholesterol-lowering, and blood pressure-lowering medications, and better numbers on fewer drugs, with an average of a 6-pound weight loss. So, and the long term, 18 months later, they were actually reducing the number of calories per day by about 400, and still eating what they wanted, sort of as much as on that plant-based diet. So it was fantastic results. And there was another study done just 3 years ago in New Zealand, and they took an area of New Zealand where there's the highest obesity, and they were the poorest of the communities. And they offered them they had a control group, and they had a 3-month program. And in that program, one half just kept what they were doing, and the other half were invited to meetings twice a month for 3 months. And they provided them knowledge, information about healthy eating, what foods were healthy for them, and how certain foods might help with sort of preventing certain illnesses. But it was basically teaching them about the benefits of a plant-based diet. And so after the 3 months, off they went and were doing their own thing. But what they found, even in that 3 months, they lost, I believe it was some incredible amount of it was like 19 pounds. And so these were really obese people. And they lost 19 pounds in that 3 months. And they're going, okay, well, what happens in 6 months and in 12 months? Because a lot of these diet programs, they send you off, and that's it. There's no support. And they actually didn't provide support after the 3 months. But because those people had that bi-weekly support for 3 months, and they were feeling better, they just kept going. And their weight loss after, I think it was a year, they went back and checked, they lost an average of 26 pounds. And the control diet after 3 months, where they just ate what they wanted, there wasn't really a significant gain or loss with just continuing with what they were doing. But with this other group, it was incredible loss of weight and feeling good and feeling empowered about what they were eating. So they didn't have to have a meal program. They just went up and eating what they want. There was no calorie. And I'm just looking for there's another little something to add with that. And yeah, it was called the Broad Study. And if you want to go to www.nature.com/article/NUTD 20173, you can find the results and read about it some more. And so those people, all of a sudden they felt better. Their health was better. They felt better. And that encouraged them to keep going. And so that spills out into their family and the community, and the larger family. And so that's just like a win-win situation for those people and others who have improved their sort of whatever their health issues were. They were able to heal that through their food, which is just what nature intended, nature by design. And so when we eat these foods, and you eat the rainbow colored foods, your body just sings. You've got this 60 trillion plus cells that are just singing when you eat that fresh whole food. The packaged food, it's got so many ingredients. Thank you. It's got so many ingredients in it that the body's going, oh, okay, what do I do with all these different things? And I can't read some of what the label is. The words, like there's 56 different names for sugar. So really important to be conscious in your shopping and look at the labels and cut down on those sugars, because we know that that's not good for our heart, or the pancreas, and the total body. It wasn't meant to eat that much sugar way back in our Paleolithic times. We didn't have that. And we would eat when the food was there, and then we could go for a few days without any, and then eat some more. But the high processed food just wasn't available. And now that we know about this kind of food, the healthy food, we can make a choice. And so I'm choosing to continue with my testing and aligning my food with what my body needs. And I have a program that I'll be probably starting in the fall. It'll be my second class of Trust Your Gut, eating intuitively for the right foods for you, and aligning those foods for you, because everybody's different. And if you'd be interested in helping me with my market research, because I'm focusing more on people who have health conditions, or they've been diagnosed with something and they're really scared of what that means in their life, or they have parents that are not healthy and they don't want to go there, but they don't know what to do. So if you send me an email to rosiesjoy11@gmail.com, connect with me, or you can go onto my Facebook and just say, yes, Anne, I'll put a little posting about the course and what I'm offering on my Facebook page. And if you'd love to be part of my research, and it's just me gleaning sort of some of the issues and concerns that people that I'm sort of looking for this new program, if that connects with you, then say yes on my Facebook page, and we'll have about a 40-minute conversation where I will ask you questions And if it's the right fit for you, then you can join my program. Probably at this point, probably starting in September, and it's 6 weeks long. And they're 1 hour classes where I teach and you practice in your kitchen with a pendulum and your body, because your body is also that pendulum, going backwards for no and forwards for yes. That's what I want to eat right now. And I would love to have a conversation with you. And we're going to close today with one of my poems. I am in the process actually of completing a book of my poetry, which is my connection with the divine, with nature, and this is one of them. And this was written 6 years ago. And it's called My Divine Guide. Each lifetime, my soul decides to awaken on the earth. Trillions of cells, individual entities of love, in communion with each other. Harmony from the macrocosm, embodied within the microcosm. The universe embodied in a body called heaven. From the whole, love incarnate in physical form, we, our divinity within every cell. Unconditional love. Seeing you, hearing you, feeling you as loving light. And there was one more thing that I did want to add, and that came from the doctor who created the CHIP program, because I think it's important that we realize that we can empower ourselves. And this was Dr. Hans Deal. As a society, I think we are largely at the mercy of powerful and manipulative marketing forces that basically tell us what to eat. Everywhere we look, we're being seduced to the good life, as marketers define it. But the so-called life has produced in this country an avalanche of morbidity and mortality, disease and death. What I would like to see in America is not this good life, but the best life. The best life is a simpler lifestyle, one characterized by eating more whole foods as grown. So blessing, namaste, and just enjoy the day. And until next time, thank you.